Hi, this is John with Bank Account Bonus Central, and today's video is all about Credit Human. They have a $200 get to spend checking account bonus, and there is a really good chance that this is a nationwide offer based upon the qualifications. But of course, why MMV? Your mileage may vary. This is fishing and not catching. Before we jump into too many details, I do have a quick disclaimer. I am, well, not currently a customer of Credit Human. I did apply to them, so there is that. I'm not affiliated by them. I'm not endorsed by them. This is my own personal review for informational purposes only. We will go over the application process and see what they have to offer. So before jumping in, when was the last time your bank paid you $200? Literally, all you gotta do is 10 debit card transactions. We all enjoy spending money. It's so much easier to spend money than it is to make money. So definitely something you want to consider taking advantage of. So how much money am I talking about? Well, I have a $3 million challenge. I want to help at least 1,000 people make at least $3,000 from these videos in 2023. And there's a lot of people who've way above exceeded that. So before we jump into anything else, happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. Being a dad is not easy, but it's definitely fun and rewarding. So happy Father's Day. Cheers to all the dads out there. All right. So huge shout out to Mike before we begin. Here's speaking of hitting the $3,000 mark. So, okay, thanks. Guess I may need to slow down. 2 rejects in one day, first service and Credit Human. So he did not get accepted by Credit Human. Thanks for your time. This is one of the coolest things I've ever gone in my life. So thanks for your time and effort to mentor on such a weird hobby. That is just awesome. That's one of the coolest compliments I received in my life. I'm up to about 7,000 this year, which is 2 thumbs up. I mean, that's awesome. Hoping to be able to complete a full kitchen remodel just on bank bonuses. Thanks, Mike. I mean, that is awesome. That absolutely makes my day. Thanks for your time and effort to mentor on such a weird hobby. That is absolutely freaking awesome. So 7 grand, huge shout out to Mike. And money's out there. It's in these videos. Definitely take advantage of what's being presented out there. So one that is, I know 100% for sure is a nationwide bonus is Chime. If you haven't done this one, definitely check it out. It's $100 when you receive a $200 direct deposit. So basically, you get a 50% bonus. Especially if you're one of those blessed people who can you can divvy up where you want your different parts of your direct deposit to go to. Send 200 to Chime, get $100. Here's my link to that if you want to check that out. So it's a Bitly link, or if you want to do the QR code, or you can always email me at churningadventures@gmail.com. Links also in the description box down below. I made a full video talking about Chime where you can snag that bonus. I'll have a link to that up here. So there's that. All right, so moving along. So Credit Human, they are from San Antonio, Texas, the best country in the United States. They do have a A- rating with the BBB, which is plenty fine for me to consider jumping in. Stuff with like the F ratings and thousands of complaints, that's the stuff that scares me. It's like, I don't care what they say they're going to do. No, I'm plenty fine. I've dealt with enough bad experiences with banks. I'm still fighting through one right now. Yeah. So, all right. So Credit Human, here's, have the link in the description box down below for this one. My bad. But here's what it is. credithuman.com/promotional/reward. It says pays to become a member. You could earn $200. Become a member with as little as $5. They do have 500 in credit card funding as well. So forgot to mention that. So that is a cool thing. Open a checking account with as little as $25 and promo code will automatically be applied. Register for online banking, enroll in online statements, use your debit card, bam, 10 times, snag $200. That is no brainer. So you click to join. Here's what you have. Open a Credit Human account. So a lot of the credit unions, they are ridiculously, or some of them are ridiculously limited. Employee or member, one of our employer or organization partners, they have a San Antonio and New Orleans service area. Love San Antonio. Been on vacation there many times. Veteran, retiree, active duty member, dependent member of a U.S. Armed Forces or National Guard. Study at one of our trade school, college, or university partners related to or live with a Credit Human member. If none of those, you have ACC. ACC is American Consumer Council. So I am not in the San Antonio. I'm not in New Orleans. Um, I'm not a dependent of armed service, but ACC, and they pay for it. Credit union handles the application and the initial fee to join. So I've already have like multiple memberships with ACC through the years. So that should make it a nationwide offer because ACC is American American Consumer Council. So there is that. How I think that could actually be um, the United States. So they do have one of the first things I look at for credit unions is their share certificate rates, and they have actually bumped it up. I should have updated this, but it's 4.11%. But when you do the application, do not select the credit union, or I'm sorry, do not collect. Sorry, do not select the share certificate because it's not going to work with the math. Become a member online, so you want to hit get started. So free checking, you need to do that to get the debit card to do the 10 debit card transactions. So I agreed to their free checking. Available product, I originally clicked on this, minimum deposit 500. The maximum deposit for credit card funding is 500. So you can't do 500 for a CD and the 25 bucks or whatever it was for the checking account and the savings account. So not going to work. So I went back and switched it to the required share savings, which has 0.6%, and the debit card. So this is what you want your thing to look like. Share savings is required, and then debit card is also required to get to 200 bucks. So tell us about yourself: Social Security, first name, middle name, last, excuse me, suffix, gender, date of birth, mother's maiden name, citizenship status, address, zip code, city, state, occupancy, how long you've lived there, uh, email, cell phone, driver's license, state, ID, expiration, and all that stuff, employment status, and then a picture of your driver's license, fill out the beneficiaries. How much do you want to deposit? So I did straight up, you can see here, free credit, I'm sorry, free checking, $25 on the savings account, $475 total for 500. This is what you want to hit, credit or debit card, max 500. So obviously credit card is what you want to do. Type in your credit card number, and I used the SoFi card for this because it's only 500 and you get, bam, 2% back. And SoFi does not do the cash advance. I asked them, what's the only way to do get a cash advance fee? And they said, basically, you got to put your credit card into the ATM, push in a PIN number, and get cash out. That's the only way to hit cash advance. So that is why I absolutely do love the SoFi card. If you're interested in more information about the SoFi card, I do have a referral link. I made a video about the SoFi card. I will put that up here. All right. So how much you want to deposit? 25, 475 total, 500. Hit it with the credit card. Bam. That's some extra money. And then verify, review, and submit what all you put in. And then read, sign, submit. I agree. Processing your request. You got, instead of the circle of death, you have the line of death. And then verification questions, soft pull on your credit, does not affect your credit score at all. And then thank you, your application was referred to a representative to review. You'll get an email in 3 business days. Please check your spam folder, or you can contact them with the email. So there is that. So I'm still waiting to get approved. God willing, 200 bucks to do 10 debit card transactions is a no-brainer. Credit card funding is a plus as well. Too bad it's only limited to 500. ACC should make it nationwide, but why MMV as usual? It is called fishing and not catching. Wish it was as easy as just calling it catching. I just applied to one credit union. I thought I was going to be able to share nationwide with 1,500 in credit card funding, and they said transfer money from your checking account. I was like, nope, no dice for that one. So fishing, not catching. But I'm the one doing the work in the background, taking time and effort. I do want to eventually have the most up to date and concise um, network and database in regards to accounts that will allow you to open up accounts with a credit card, so you can snag that money on from there. All right, so I still have questions. I'm sorry, I still have comments off for my videos, but if you have any questions, comments, concerns, questions, comments, concerns, complaints, or criticisms, hit me up at churningadventures@gmail.com, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And then today's question is, how does God describe himself? So I was reading the scripture and found where God actually describes himself, and it's kind of interesting. So it's Exodus 34, verses 5 through 7. It says, "And the Lord descended in a cloud and stood with Moses." This is from the book of Exodus. "And proclaimed his name, the Lord. Then the Lord passed in front of Moses, and called out, the Lord God is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in loving devotion and faithfulness, maintaining a love and devotion to 1,000 generations, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin." So everybody enjoys that description of God, right? He's compassionate, abounding in loving devotion and faithfulness, forgiving sins, forgiving transgressions and iniquities, and that's the God everybody likes. He's cool with no matter what I do, I can do whatever I want to do, right? That's the your best life now type of mentality. And then, "Yet he will by no means leave the guilty unpunished." Uh-oh. That means no, you can't do what you just want to do. God, he does want people to live holy lives. He does want us to live above reproach. And here's an interesting thing. It says he will visit the iniquity of the fathers on their children and grandchildren to the third and fourth generations. People, what I get out of that is people tend to make choices, and if they either make good choices, good things are going to happen. You're going to have good fruit, or make bad choices, bad things are going to happen. And kids, I know from my son, who is right next to me, he repeats. I mean, the kids are like a sponge. They repeat what you do for either good or bad. And if you're doing bad things in your life, kids repeat that. I became an alcoholic on account of the guy who adopted me was an alcoholic. And then I took it a step further and became a drug addict. But through the power of Christ, I'm sober. I grew up with a alcoholic adoptive father, and my kids have never been that. So, that curse has been broken. You know, God does allow people who want to stay in their sin to stay in their sin and be a bad influence. But Jesus does give the power and grace to be able to overcome any sin, because ultimately there is no sin that somebody has to commit. It's just not that. If you're interested in additional information about this, gotquestions.org, got a link in the description box below. And Covenant Eyes. I am an affiliate for Covenant Eyes. One of the biggest sins out there is online pornography. I mean, I want to see people be spiritually free. I want to see people be financially free. That's why I make these videos. And if you have an addiction for anything, I don't care if it's drug, alcohol, internet, pornography, whatever it is, you can't be considered spiritually free. But there is things out there, such as Covenant Eyes. I do have a link in the description box below. Check it out. Get your first 30 days free. See if that's something that will benefit your family. If you're still here with me, definitely appreciate it. Like the video if you appreciate profitable content on a consistent basis. Share this with anybody who would be able to benefit from it, and subscribe with bell notifications so you can be amongst the first to take advantage of such really cool opportunities that are profitable. And with that, happy Father's Day, and look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace, and may God bless you.